Hello and welcome to Circles. You're joining a community of players who are committed to improvement, and we're excited to help you achieve your goals faster. I'm going to show you how to get started with Circles and look at how optimizing your performance can lead to a competitive edge. In this video, I'll show you how to get your first rounds of data in and how to start analyzing your stats. Getting your first round entered is easy. Simply click on the plus button and click Add Round. You'll be asked for some basic information which you can enter, and then you click Continue to Shot Entry. We ask for 3 pieces of information. We need to know the par of the hole, and then for each shot, the starting lie of the ball and the yardage from you to the pin. So you don't need to measure how far your shot's traveled, only the distance from you to the pin at the start of each shot. Now, as the saying goes, good quality data in equals good quality data out. We recommend that you use a rangefinder for the greatest level of accuracy. So here's an example of entering data into a hole. Let's say I'm on a par 4 and it's a 360 yard hole. My shot landed on the fairway, so my starting lie for my second shot is fairway. And let's say I had 110 yards to go to the pin. So I got onto the green, so my third shot would then be starting on the green. Now, when you're on the green, the distance units automatically change to feet. So for this shot, I had 10 feet left to the pin. I drained the putt for a birdie, so this hole is then complete. We recommend that you fill in the information about each hole after you've holed out, so either as you're waiting for your playing partners to finish or whilst you're walking to the next tee box. You can either print out our shot collection template to fill out while you're on the course, or you can easily enter your shots directly onto your phone whilst you're out there. Once you've entered your 9 or 18 holes, you simply click Finish Shot Entry. You'll be asked to select a benchmark that you want to measure yourself again. In this case, I'll look at a Division 1 player. Confirm. And click Continue to Summary. Once you've finished adding data, you get what we call a round summary report. This breaks down the context of how you've scored in a particular way. So we can see here that I had 70 shots on a par 70, so even par. But what I want to understand is, where were my strengths, where were my weaknesses, and what was the DNA that set up the outcome of that round. So we can scroll down and see first the radar graph. So this outlines the benchmark performance in the solid orange line, and then my performance in the blue line. Now, if the blue line is outside the diamond, like it is in short game and approaches, then I'm outperforming the benchmark or gaining shots on that benchmark. And if it's inside the diamond, like it is on drives and putting, then I'm underperforming the benchmark or losing shots against the benchmark. We can break that down further to look at the categories and subcategories. So it could be approaches as a category and then 100 to 150 yards as the subcategory to see where I'm losing or gaining shots in each different part of my game. And then it can dive in further, looking at the individual statistics that drive that performance. So whether that be driving distance, proximity to hole, on-green percentages, all from different yardages, or putts made from different distances. All the context towards why you're scoring a particular way will sit under this round summary report. Once you've entered your first round, you'll see that the dashboard is starting to populate with shot data. You can see a summary of how you've been performing. You can look at your score to par averages. You can see your strokes gained in terms of how you're performing in blue against your peer group in orange. And you can dive deeper into the trends, looking at total strokes gained, drives, approaches, short game, and putting, with the ability to click on Detailed View to dive in further to get more information about performance in that area of the game. Once you get 20 rounds in, the prediction model will populate, which looks at what your performance might look like over the next 3 months based on your current trajectory. We'll also highlight improvement opportunities once you've got 5 rounds of data in, which look at the biggest opportunities for you to be able to accelerate your score reduction. And we can see the high-level statistics that provide an overview of your game. The question becomes, what should I be aiming for in my practice to know whether I'm improving in the areas that I'm focusing? It's important that we move our practice to be goal-orientated and measurable, Instead of leaving a practice session thinking you did well or poorly, we can start to measure our improvement to see whether we're objectively improving our skills. Once you've got one round of data loaded, you can create a practice log. Simply click on the plus button and click Log Practice. This brings up every area of your game with targeted goals for you to strive for. These goals are based on your previous performance on the golf course, made a little bit harder so you're always striving for improvement. You just simply need to click on the icon to see how to test each area of your game. So let's say I'm doing some work in my putting, which is down the bottom here. I simply need to log what my performance was in each area and then click Log Practice. This records my performance and notifies my coach that I've logged a practice session so they can go in and check it out. Now that I've got 5 rounds in, I'm going to look at my performance in a little bit more detail. So from the dashboard, I just scroll down to the strokes gained graph, and then I'll change from the radar view to the trend view. Now this allows me to look at my performance, each blue dot representing a round, in a little bit more detail. What I can do is look at how my performances across drives, approaches, short game and putting, and then go into a detailed view in each area to see what's happening in that part of my game. So I might look into approaches a little bit further. So here we'll break down approaches based on distance categories. So from 101 to 150, 150 to 200, 200 to 250, and over 250. So we can see that the area that I'm losing the most shots is 150 to 200 yards. So I might have a look in further and see what's happening in that part of my game. So here what we'll do is we'll look at the statistics that sit behind that part of performance. So it looks at per shot strokes gained, so the strokes that I'm gaining or losing for every single shot that I take on average. It'll look at on-green percentages and proximity to hole from all different lies of the ball, so fairway, rough and deep rough. So we can see to start that I am hitting 40% greens from 150 to 175 and 50% from 175 to 200, which against my benchmark, against my peer group, is sitting behind by 23 and by about 4% respectively. But as we look at the proximity to hole metrics, so how close I'm able to hit it to the pin, in nearly all areas, I'm outperforming what my benchmark is. So what this might highlight is that I might be being a little bit too aggressive, leaving myself short-sighted in some of these longer approaches because I have the capability to be able to hit it to the right area, but I'm not resulting in getting any birdie opportunities by leaving it on the green. You can do this for every area of your game, looking at the categories and subcategories within it and the statistics that underlie each of those areas. And now it's over to you. We look forward to seeing those rounds and insights starting to come through and seeing you draw more circles on your scorecard. Thanks for watching and happy golfing.